Did you know during the Second World War, between 1933 and 1945, the Nazi regime and its allies established 44,000 concentration camps and other confinement sites, unleashing a reign of terror that targeted not only adults but also children. The Nazis used deceptive tactics to keep their civilian victims unaware of their impending deaths. They created fake scenarios, such as promising food, water, and work after a quick shower, painting gas chambers in pleasant colors with flowers, and even adding a Star of David to make the victims believe they had not arrived at a death camp. This video will provide a detailed discussion on the Nazi worldview, examining the twisted beliefs that drove their actions, the atrocities they committed against innocent people, and attempting to understand how such a monstrous worldview could take hold in the first place. So let us begin. During our discussion on the Nazi worldview, we will cover these topics. First, the Nazi ideology and its basis. Second, establishment of the racial state, and third, the racial utopia. So, let's start with our first topic, the Nazi ideology and its basis, and gain a deeper understanding of its core principles. So what was Nazi ideology? It was actually the ideology of Hitler, which rejected the idea of equality among people and instead promoted a racial hierarchy. According to Nazis, individuals with Aryan features, such as blonde hair, blue eyes, and Nordic German heritage, were considered superior, while Jews were considered the lowest or the one who should not survive. Nazi ideology was based on the theories of Charles Darwin and Herbert Spencer. Let us understand the true nature of the theories of these two scientists, which were heavily distorted and misinterpreted by the Nazis. Darwin, who was a natural scientist, developed the theory of evolution, which explained how species developed and evolved over time through a process of natural selection. For example, giraffes with longer necks survived better because they could reach higher leaves for food. As a result, the trait for longer necks became more common in giraffes, leading to the evolution of this feature in the species. In Darwin's theory, Spencer later added the idea of survival of the fittest, which meant that only the strongest and most adaptable organisms would survive. For example, athletes who are the strongest, fastest, and most skilled tend to excel and win competitions. Those who are weaker or less skilled may not succeed as well and may not be able to continue in their sport at a high level. The Nazis used these theories to argue that Aryan Germans were the superior race and that weaker races, like Jews, needed to be eliminated. The other ideology that Hitler strongly believed was called Lebensraum. According to Lebensraum, Hitler thought that Germany needed more land to grow and become more powerful. He thought that Germans should settle in new territories and connect with their homeland, while also gaining access to more resources. This belief system led to the invasion of Poland and other countries during the Second World War. Moving forward to our second topic, establishment of racial state, we will understand how the Nazi ideology was put into practice. During the Holocaust, the Nazis killed millions of people, including Jews and others who were considered undesirable. This included people who weren't seen as part of the superior Aryan race, such as Jews, Gypsies, blacks, Russians, and Poles. The Nazis especially targeted Jews. They thought Jews were bad because of stories that Jews had killed Christ and were moneylenders. The Nazis scared and separated the Jews from others in Germany from 1933 to 1938, and then put them in special areas from 1939 to 1945. Many Jews were killed in gas chambers, which were part of a system of concentration and extermination camps. The Nazis forced Jews to live in terrible conditions, and many died from starvation, disease, and exhaustion. The Nazis also implemented a program called euthanasia, which involved the killing of people who were considered sick, disabled, or otherwise unfit for society. The Nazis believed that these individuals were a burden on society and wanted to eliminate them in order to create their idea of a perfect society. This program targeted people who were deemed unworthy of life by the Nazi regime, and it was carried out through a variety of means, including gas chambers, lethal injections, and starvation. The euthanasia program was a horrific and inhumane act. Overall, the Nazis wanted to create a community of only pure and healthy Germans by getting rid of anyone they didn't like. Now, let's discuss the last topic of this video, the racial utopia, in which we will get to know how the Nazis expanded their territories into Poland to implement their ideologies. During the time of the Second World War, the Nazis divided occupied Poland into two parts. The northwestern part was annexed to Germany. Poles, the people of Poland, were forced to leave their homes and were replaced with ethnic Germans brought in from occupied Europe. The other part of Poland, called the General Government, became the destination for all the undesirables of the empire. The Nazis murdered members of the Polish intelligentsia in large numbers to keep the entire population intellectually and spiritually servile. Polish children who looked like Aryans were taken from their mothers and examined by race experts. If they passed the race tests, they were raised in German families. If not, they were sent to orphanages where most of them died. The General Government was created as a separate administrative unit from the rest of occupied Poland and was used as a dumping ground for all the undesirables of the Nazi Empire. In conclusion, the Nazi ideology was based on a belief in Aryan supremacy and the inferiority of other races, which led to the establishment of a racial state. The ultimate goal was a racial utopia, achieved through the elimination of undesirables and the creation of a pure Aryan society. This ideology was responsible for some of the worst atrocities in human history, including the Holocaust. So there you have it. We hope this video has given you a clear understanding of the Nazi worldview. You can optimize your learning and achieve better academic performance with EduRev. The EduRev app provides access to chapter notes, engaging video lectures, and NCERT-based MCQ tests for every chapter in one place.